All right, so I'm doing this without a tripod until I get another one. So if it's a little shaky, bear with me. So, teaching through symbolism, I've explained the Domino's logo before. Dominos comes from the Latin dominus, meaning ruler, master, lord, right? I've explained the language. I've explained the red one and the blue two. I'm not filling in all the blue and the red with the white circles. It's You guys get the point on that. However, in regards to unity and duality, on and off, it's like a light switch almost. There's something that needs to be said. Unity would be similarities, duality being differences. And both are necessary. In regards to similarities, we should thank God that we have similarities with each other and all other life forms. As if everything were different, things would be a little weird. I hope you can imagine that. If no two things were alike, this would be quite strange. This experience that we call life. While on the flip side of that domino, if everything were the same, we should thank God for the differences, because if everything were the same, imagine how boring that would be. Imagine how, well, I don't even know exactly how to describe that one, but just imagine how plain and gray everything would be if we didn't have differences. If everybody looked the same, if everybody had the same voice, if everybody talked the same, or even if there was only one type of life form. I mean, just kind of start to ponder on these things. So there needs to be similarities and there needs to be differences. Similarities should be the focus, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes, right? Some worse than others. But that's not the point. The point is that we're all alike in this way of life, and that we're all different and unique in our own special way too. And here's the core essence, is that if you focus only on the similarities and you never see the differences, it creates somewhat of a hive mind. Okay? If you focus on only those similarities, I liken that to being physically blind. Step back over to my board for a minute. It's like spiritual vision and physical vision. To only see the similarities is to have spiritual vision but no physical vision. Now, those who've been around blind people know that they tend to know things about individuals that most people cannot see. Okay? Now, on the flip side of that, having physical vision with no spiritual vision would be like having eyes but not being able to see. In other words, a Nazi, right? To only see the differences amongst you and I without realizing that we are all ultimately an aspect of this same domino, a reflection of the same domino, this universe that we live in, which may be part of a multiverse for all I know. I'm not claiming to have all the answers, nor do I want to give that impression. However, the point being is that we are similar in so many ways, and we are different in so many ways. And if those differences are celebrated in a specific way, those things that make us unique and, well, special in specific ways, then the artistic side, the feminine side, the creative side of the thinking or the creative aspect, I shouldn't even necessarily call it a side, but the creative aspect of life will flourish, right, as far as creativity goes. And then if the things that make us truly similar, right, focusing on the core aspects of life, we're all human, and that every life to an extent has some amount of sentience in it, and also recognizing that we do still need to eat, then what happens is that logical aspect of us will also flourish. And it's when the logical or intellectual aspect meets the creative or generational aspect that you find true holistic intelligence. And that's that balance between yin and yang. That's that quote silver lining, the lifeline that you find between the dark and the light. That quote happy medium. That's where you find it, is in a true balance between intellect and creativity, or for all intents and purposes, theos plus logos, which would be God and Christ, or in other words, love and logic. I think that's my cue to end the video. Thanks for tuning in. I am looking forward to explaining more symbolism, teaching through more symbolism in the coming days. I'm working on getting another tripod. Been hard at work. While at the same time, I only plan on uploading 2 to 3 times a week at most, because I have to have that work-life balance, working in the garden, planting things, working on survival skills, working on bushcraft is probably my favorite thing to work on right now. That and going out and foraging for food, and growing my own food, hunting my own food. Anyways, survival skills, life skills that actually bring some sort of value to life, rather than just being a drone and succumbing to that everyday grind. So anyways, if you found value in this and you feel like sharing it with others, then by all means, go ahead. And if you didn't find value in it, well, I suggest look again. But if you don't feel like that's for you, then by all means, ignore me and do as you please. All right, peace.